Look at that shooting accuracy.
He's going to cross the line as a deserving World Cup final champion.
Welcome everybody to Pazardzhik, Bulgaria for the continuation of the 2026 World Cup circuit. We are done and dusted with the competition in Cairo. Things moving on pretty quickly to Bulgaria, Pazardzhik, and we begin our live coverage here in Bulgaria with coverage from the women's semi-final A. This is modern pentathlon, 5 disciplines in a time of around 90 minutes. And the weather conditions are pretty much perfect for pentathlon here. A bit of a cool breeze in the air, but in the sun it's nice and warm. 21 degrees Celsius, and we look forward to getting underway with our first coverage here in Bulgaria, which is, of course, the first of the 2 women's semi-finals. We'll go into a bit more detail as the day progresses, but this is how modern pentathlon works. It is, as mentioned, 5 disciplines that we will be bringing you coverage of. We've started our coverage with the fencing direct elimination, where there are 2 pistes, which we will bring you coverage from both pistes initially. Simply, you have to get 5 victories to be able to progress through to the next round. Then we move over to the obstacles, where there are 8 obstacles for the athletes to get past. The quicker you are, the more points you get. This is, of course, the newest discipline within modern pentathlon. Swimming has changed a little bit this year. The distance of swimming is halved from 200 metres to 100 metres. Again, the quicker you are, the more points that you will score. And we conclude thing with the laser run. 5 laps of the 600-metre course, 5 shooting routines to get past as well. The quicker you are in the shooting range, it really does make a difference on your competition. Look for times of around 10 seconds for the athletes to navigate their way past. So, of course, the first over the finish line is the winner, but this is semi-finals, so it's all about the battle for the top 9, because the top 9 will qualify for Super Sunday's final, when the men and the women will compete for the medals. So welcome everybody once again to Pazardzhik here in Bulgaria, and we welcome to the commentary box for the first time former Spanish athlete Christian Chamizo. Welcome, Christian, it's great to have you here.
Thank you, James. Hi everyone. Really happy to be here, really honored to be here. I never expected to be in this side of the competition. But anyway, one way or another, I'm sure I will enjoy it very much.
Pentathlon moves quickly. This time last year you were competing, of course, here in Pazardzhik. Now you are here in the commentary box as we see the start list for women's semi-final A. And one name sticks out to me there, which is Ilka Rzuxel, who last year, you may remember, Christian, as an athlete, performed a near miracle. She started the laser run right down in 18th place and ended up getting inside that top 9, sprinting over the finish line. They were good memories, weren't they?
Yeah, I remember I started like her more or less, and I finished 15th, but she somehow managed to qualify for the final. It was amazing running, one of the best of the season, for sure.
And I think this is one of the gifts of semi-finals, is it is exciting right up until the last minute. We'll go into more detail in a moment's time, but we'll start by introducing the athletes. Firstly, it is Anna Alara from Italy. She's one of the younger athletes. She recently celebrated her birthday. So, yeah, good luck to her in this semi-final. Up next, Sarah Mohammed.
Representing China, Hu Xiao, silver medalist at the 2025
next up
Asian
is
Championships.
Zhu Yao Wu. She's one of the young, exciting Chinese athletes breaking their way into this deepening Chinese women's squad. World number 1, Blanka Guzzi, comes into this competition in fantastic form after picking up her first gold medal of the year in the first event of the year in Cairo, 4th at the Paris Olympic Games. Blanka Guzzi, one of the fast runners, will be dangerous from further down the field. Up next is Olivia Green, bronze medalist from the 2023 European Games. She also did well at the 2022 World Championships, and is one of Great Britain's talented female athletes. Lucy Klavachkova, another Olympian from Paris 2024, and very good fencer.
And runner.
Yeah, she's got a lot of talent in her. in her pocket, hasn't she? As does Blanka Bauer, another very good runner. Another one of these very impressive Hungarian athletes.
Very good runners in the semi-finals.
Yeah, it's true actually. And they're a little bit further down the field from the fencing seeding round. Florina Yurts, one of the two Yurt twins, one of a multitude of Yurt sisters who compete in pentathlon. Florina going well here, making another semi-final. Set a obstacle world record in Cairo as well. Laura Heredia, another Olympian, and your former teammate, Christian.
Yeah, another good runner, probably one of the best. We'll have an interesting laser run later. Let's see what happens.
Colleen Flavin, a French senior champion, finalist in Cairo, has made the step up from junior to senior well, and one I think to keep an eye on. Mingyu Zhang, another Olympian. Maria Nedchik, who in 2024 was arguably one of the best athletes in the world, making her way back from injury after having a nasty injury in Budapest last year in the obstacle.
I'm just now realizing how interesting it's going to be in the laser run, because we are having so much really good runners. I mean, I didn't realize until now I'm seeing this.
Yeah, it could really be interesting, couldn't it? Lily Farag came out a moment ago, another one of the impressive Egyptian teams. I think it was Karolina Krenkova we just missed coming out there. Really strong fencing score from her.
Representing Turkey, Ilke Ziksel, World Cup final bronze medalist and 6th at the Olympic Games in Paris.
Ilka Özüksel out next. Ilka Özüksel, we mentioned having such an exciting event in Pazardzhik this time last year. And great to see Charlie Follett back on the World Cup circuit as well. She's had her fair share of injuries, but is in a very good position here.
And last but not least,
the second World Cup of the year. And as mentioned, Yana Sloyeva,
European Championship in 2024.
The highest ranked fencing direct elimination athlete with 25 victories. These are your 18 athletes taking part in women's semi-final A. And Christian, this could be a very, very exciting fight, couldn't it?
Yeah, it will be. Let's see how this fencing goes. It will tell us a lot about what will happen later in laser run. As we said, we have really good runners, and it all will depend on how they will start this laser run, because if these good runners are in the top, maybe they will save some energy from the finals. But if they have to run hard to try to overtake some places, we will have a really interesting semi-final.
Yep, that is the bracket then for women's semi-final A. And you can see just what these athletes have to get through. A maximum of 250 points available for the athlete that wins overall, 244 for second place, and then points will go down respectively depending on where they finish. Up first though is the round of 32. Alara and Guzi at the bottom of your screen, Mohammed and Wu at the top of your screen. All action, all go, and we are live here from Pazardzhik.
We are now in the run of 32 to see who finished in 17th and 18th position and who managed to climb to the next round.
Guzi then with the first touch on piece B, and you'll see the little star next to their name. That's significant because that means they have priority, which means if the scores are level, the athlete with priority would progress, which means that then the athlete without priority has to begin the more aggressive and effectively kind of starts a point down. So Mohammed versus Wu on P's day. Wu in the advantage with 30 seconds to go. Guzi now 2-1 up over Alara.
You can pretty much see who has the priority, not only by the start in the score, but also because the one who has a top priority is always pressuring the other athletes. You can see it in piece A, also in piece B.
So Wu looking in a good position there on piece day. Guzi now 3-2 to the good. And attack once again straight from the off. Alara defense, and this one's going down to wire. A couple of really interesting ties to get us underway. Guzi, well, she could be dangerous even from down in 18th place because she's such a strong laser runner. She's really improved her obstacle, Guzi, as well. 4-all, next touch wins. And it is Guzi who progresses through to the round of 16. An important win that for her. So Guzi moves on now where she'll play the second highest ranked fencer, Charlie Follett. Follett's such a consistent fencer, isn't she?
In piece A we have Mohammed trying to, but now it's a touch from Gu. 1-3 for her, and just 4 seconds left.
We can see Charlie Follett from Great Britain.
Nothing strange happens. I think we will see Gu in the run of 16.
So Charlie Follett, the highest ranked fencer in the bottom half of the draw, if you like. She picked up 23 victories from the seeding round, which incidentally took place this morning. So these athletes have had a big day so far. Usually it's the day before. Mohammed pulled one back for Wu, but she would need to find 2 touches in the next 2.5 seconds on piece A. On piece B, Guzi and Follett looking to get underway. Mohammed looking aggressive. She gets the touch with 0.8 to go.
I think she has not enough time, but you have to try until the end.
So final second to go. Mohammed tries to get there. Wu just steps back, and in the end, it is Wu who progresses with the priority rule. So 3-3 the final score. Wu now progresses to take on Solyeva. So Guzi versus Follett, waiting to get underway. Seems to be a little delay there.
As we said, Gu had the priority, and with this tie, she's in the next round now. On piece B, we have Blanca Guzi and Follett. I think we have some problems with the piece, but they are about to start.
And we go with 1 minute. Or until one of the athletes gets
there we go. Followed with priority. And Guzi looking for this first touch. Pressing on Follett. But the first touch is on Follett. Now Guzi needs 2 touches at least.
So Follett with the priority now in a good position as we head into the second phase of this round of 16 ties. So Solyeva above is looking in a good position. So the higher seeded fencers are both in a good position in these early stages of the round of 16. And if you get a good fencing score in seeding round, it does make your passage a lot better. The lowest that, for example, the highest ranked fencer Solyeva can do is finish 9th place, so she's already guaranteed a top 10 position.
So she needs to defend her position. Piece B being the tie now.
So yeah, we continue with these round of 16 ties, and Guzi's hit back by Follett now with 11 seconds to go. Again, keeping that advantage going in a very strong position here. And Follett now, surely, with a 4-2 lead, is seconds away. Solyeva as well, 4-1 to the good. Guzi has to attack now because she's got to get 2 more touches in these final 7 seconds. A step back there from Follett, but Guzi perhaps jumping the gun just a moment there.
And it's Follett who wins this match, she will be now in the round of 8.
So Follett gets through, 5-3 she leads. Sulieva is victorious as well.
We've seen 2 different styles in Beast A now. And clearly, Soloveva was dominating all the match with this priority since the beginning, and she knew how to manage it. Now we have Laura against Nedchik. Nedchik with priority. So Laura. It's my former teammate. I have to be with her.
So Laura Heredia, Paris Olympian, up against former World Cup gold medalist Maria Nedchik, who has to be said in the 2024 season was looking unbeatable. A nasty broken wrist sustained an obstacle in Budapest last year. Now her second competition back. She is such a fast runner, by the way. And it did look like Nedchik-Gulyás rivalry could become one of the talks of Pentathlon. Gulyás not here in Pazardzhik. She finished there. I think it was 5th place in Cairo and is going to be back for Budapest, but the Olympic gold medalist has been an ever-present since the Olympics, which is not often the case. Athletes usually take a year or so off after the Olympics because so much is put into getting into the Olympic mindset, which we're starting to already think about. Next year is when the qualifications really start to heat up and begin, so we'll see the level of competition increasing ever since. Flavin versus Zhang, 2 apiece with 20 seconds to go. Heredia versus Nedchik, no score in those opening 15 seconds. Priority with Nedchik. Heredia just starting to get a feel for Nedchik, who's such a good fencer. It's an interesting battle, this actually. Flavin versus Zhang is going to go right down to the wild button things as well. 3-4 with 14 seconds to go. 3rd second to go, no score between Heredia and Nedchik. Heredia just taking her time here. Nedchik knows she has priority, can just perhaps manage that time quite well. There's the attack from Heredia.
I will touch. You have to remember, it's not about getting 5 points, it's all about getting 1 more point than your rival.
Exactly. And then here we have 2 very different ties, don't we? Zhang versus Flavin's had quite a lot of action. Meanwhile, there's just been 1 bit of action between Heredia and Nedchik. We approach the business end of both pieces at the same time, and it's now 2 apiece. And Flavin levels the score against Zhang. She's got just 3 seconds left to try to find a way past her opponent. She needs to find a touch, and she's done it. Flavin, no, not given. She celebrated it, but it's not been given. And there is the attempt there from Flavin, but the clock ticks down to 0, and it is Zhang with the priority. Meanwhile, Nedchik, 4-2 up against Heredia. She's managed this incredibly well. All the actions come in the second, 30 seconds of this tie. And Heredia does get a touch back. She needs to find 2 points in 2 seconds. It's nearly impossible, but she'll try. And sometimes the best form of defense is attack, which is what Nedchik went for there.
Yeah, but I think the wisest thing in this case is
just to step back.
Yeah.
You've got 1, yeah, it's done. I don't think even Heredia really tries at this point.
Yeah, no, it's almost impossible. She tries, which...
So it is Nedchik that progresses. The higher ranked athlete will go through against Follett. That's also a very intriguing battle. No, sorry, no, it's Nedchik that progresses to the winner of Azukal versus... No, there is... I'm going to confuse it. It's Nedchik versus Follett. There we go, right first time. Of course, Follett defeated Guzi. We have Bauer versus Krenkova. The 12th seeded fencer versus the 5th seeded fencer. Krenkova picking up 19 touches in the seeding round earlier today. Meanwhile, Bauer, who is a very good laser runner, picked up 15. So a bit of a difference between those two, but with 30 seconds on the clock, there is nothing between them other than that star, the priority, which is so important in terms of how athletes take on. Would you say, Christian, that the priority athlete is usually the winner in most of these ties?
Most of the time, yeah. I mean,
20 seconds on piece
it doesn't
A.
mean that you're going to win. At least, as I said, you only need one more touch than your rival, and you can have the priority. But if you start the match and your rival gets the point, now you don't have priority.
10 seconds
But
on piece A.
in terms of the strategy, it means a lot. It gives you some, I don't know how to say, more energy, or you feel more secure in the match, and you can handle it quite better than if you don't have this priority. But when I was competing and I didn't have the priority, I tried to stay calm, let the time pass, because with 10 seconds left, okay, you may not have the priority, but you only need one touch. If it's 0-0 and 10 seconds left, the priority also even means not nothing, but almost nothing, because it's just about one touch, like sitting around.
Krankova defeating Bauer. She will progress through then against the winner of Pazardzhik versus Meyer. But this has gone right down to the wire. Yurt. Oh my goodness me, did Farag get the touch? She did! Well, we'll wait for the confirmation on the screen, but if that's the case, then Farag progresses. I'm not quite sure what... We need confirmation there. No, Yurt has progressed.
Yeah.
So for a second there, I thought that Yurt had lost the tie, but it was Yurt that progresses through, where she will play the winner of the Zuxel versus Green. Lots going on here in the fencing direct elimination. Krankova versus Bauer just concluded earlier.
I think for athletes like Laura or Lafakova, they know if they manage to progress just one round to run off 8, for example, they have half of the job done, I think.
Interesting battle, this Green versus a Zuxel. Similar era of athletes. Zuxel, the more experienced of the two. Ilkka Zuxel, famous for her pace on the course. Could well have probably pursued a career as a professional runner. That is the speed which she possesses. She's always a very good rider as well, has really improved her obstacle in the transition from riding to obstacle. She's now very, very established and good obstacle athlete. Olivia Green we're seeing in the semi-final for the first time this year. Zuxel gets the touch to get off to a good start against Green. Green's a very consistent fencer, a former European Championship medalist.
I think Kozuska has a great opportunity here, considering her good result in the silver round.
What I will say is that Zuxel has had some slower shoots in the past few events. So let's see if she can improve on that. Meyer 4-0 over Hlavackova. That is as good as done on piste day. And you can see the position of the fencing piste here. Positioned just in front of the pool, in front of the crowd as well. So a really interesting perspective here. Zuxel's flying, and these are two fairly one-sided fencing bouts. Green with serious work to do now needs to get 4 touches against the Zuxel without reply. And that was a double touch, so now Zuxel just 1 away from the victory. You would imagine that is as good as done. Meyer will progress now from Piste A. Congratulations to her. So 10 seconds to go, and you can see there Krankova versus Meyer and Zhang versus Soloeva will be our top 8 battles. And once we get through to the semi-finals, we have just 1 piste, so all action, all attention on that 1 piste.
And Ozuska goes through the next round.
Good fencing that from Zuxel. Her fencing is actually, I think, has improved quite a bit over the last few years. She's improved all areas of her.
I think we have to keep an eye on her, Zuxel, for this competition.
Well, she looks like she's going to make things easier than she did on herself last year.
Yeah.
But then, of course, you never know with pentathlon. Lots can go wrong. Obstacle, you can end up with 0 points, and then the competition's as good as over. So you cannot take your eye off the ball for a second. So, Zhang versus Soloeva in our first of the round of 8 ties. Nedchik versus Follett, 2 interesting ties. It's our highest ranked fencer and our second highest ranked fencer from the seeding round are both in action now. Nedchik versus Follett is one not to take your eyes off. Nedchik is a very, very accomplished fencer. Follett is having a very good competition on her day. Is one of the best fencers in the world as well. Follett back in competition for the first time this year. 30 seconds of time remain. Priority with Follett. Nedchik just biding her time as she did in the previous round, but she had the priority in the previous round. This time she's the underdog. Follett is just defending incredibly well here and just biding her time. And actually, with the flesh there, defended, but double touch. Soloeva is flying versus Zhang, 4-2 to the good, and that tie is as good as over. You would imagine Soloeva looking to book her place in the semi-finals. No score as we go into the final 10 seconds between Nedchik and Follett. Just 1-1 without any difference here. It starts to get scrappy, and Follett gets the touch. And that has as good as won the tie for her. So you can see the scores in the back of your screen there. Double touch, so it's now 3-2 to Follett. Nedchik needs 2 points in these final 2 seconds. I don't think she's going to get them because Follett looks possessed here.
Really good match from Follett because she was so patient, even though she knew that Nedchik would come for her, and
it all came down to that 1 point, didn't it, really, at this. It was just before then, a double touch. It was the one that made it 3-2. That felt hugely significant. Nedchik never gave up, though. But that's a big win for Follett. She's through to the semi-finals and knows that that's going to give her big points. She will face the winner of the Zuxel versus Farag.
From Switzerland, and on piece B, we will be able to see Pazardzhik from Turkey and Florida Yur from Switzerland.
So, making our way through things nicely here. Krankova and Meyer will take to the piste.
I have to correct myself. So
these are the final 2 ties that we will have to split screen over. I must say, I enjoy how this looks from this position. You've got the pool at the bottom of the screen, and it's very blue. Looks nice, doesn't it? Aesthetically pleasing.
yeah.
So Farag versus Zuxel, Krankova versus Meyer. Away we go with our final round of 8 ties here in Pazardzhik, Bulgaria, the second World Cup of the 2026 season. We next move to Budapest, a big competition coming up over in Hungary, before we then move to World Cup final World Championships. Quite a few things to be decided before we start thinking about those 2 massive competitions. And then, of course, next year is build up to the Olympics qualification, starting with various international competitions, European Championships, for example, deciding where the athletes from Europe will be competing in the Games, the Pan American Games. Plenty of ways to get yourself into the Olympic Games. Meyer with the first touch against Krankova. Farag with the first touch against Zuxel. Farag 6th in the seeding. Zuxel was 3rd. So
That's what I talk about. The Zuxel has a priority, but with just 1 touch from the other athlete, now the priority disappears. And now it's Zuxel who needs 2 touches.
Ilka in trouble here as she needs to find a way to respond quickly, and she does. To keep it interesting, 7 seconds to go if the Zuxel can find some touches. She's running out of time. The urgency will be there. Tries to get down low, and there is a touch. It's good concentration from Farag there. That should be enough for the Egyptian to progress now through to the semi-finals. Krankova versus Meyer, 1 apiece with 15 seconds to go. 4-1 now for Farag. Double touch, actually, it was 4-2. I think that's it now. So Zuxel has to make way. She was in good form, and I think she'd be disappointed with that, but there's a good win from Farag, and she's now through to the semi-finals where she'll face Follett. That's an interesting time.
And Krankova with a 2-1 now 1.8 seconds left.
Bear has to find a touch, she can't, and Krenkova
from Czechia.
now moves into the semi-finals herself. I mean, there wasn't much in it. That was the 5th seeded fencer versus the 4th seeded fencer. But those are your semi-finals, folks. It's Solieva and Krenkova versus Farag and Follett. And actually, I think there's a part of me that doesn't mind seeing the top 2 seeded fencers in the final, because we don't see that too often. That is the challenge of direct elimination, Christian.
Yeah. You know, this direct elimination, of course, it's super important in terms of the points you get. But we were talking before, for example, obstacle racing, that if you make a mistake, it's all over. But doing a good job in fencing makes you, for example, not to take some more risk than you have to take. And, you know, winning the fencing in a competition like that.
Is there a big difference, do you think, between, for example, finishing 1st and 2nd in fencing? So, like, if you finish 1st, you get 250 points. If you finish 2nd, you finish, obviously, 244. 6 points at this point of the competition, is it going to worry the athletes too much?
You may think it's not a big difference, which in part it's true. But we've seen many athletes being out or in of a final just by, I don't know, 2 seconds.
But then, for example, I take your point completely, and I agree with you. And like we saw with Ilka Zuxel last year, every point makes a difference.
Yeah.
But, for example, with swimming, now every second is worth 5 points. Like, it's interesting where the psychological factor of where those points feel like they make more of a difference. Because, okay, say you get those extra 6 points in fencing, great, but then you lose 3 seconds in swimming, and then you lose 15 seconds. It's...
Yeah, well, it's at swimming, you know more or less what's your time, so you can predict how many points are you going to gain or lose.
The athletes will go in swimming knowing I'm probably going to get like a 1 minute 2 seconds, for example. Like they know that they're going to roughly get the same consistently.
You can be more or less 1 second better or worse than your time, but more or less you know what's your time, and you know if you're going to be one of the fastest or not. And
let's focus on this tie, though. We're getting to the business end of this first semi-final. Krenkova versus Soloveva. 10 seconds to go. Priority with Soloveva. Krenkova has to find a touch. Soloveva making her way to the back of the piece. Krenkova now building up for the attack, but Soloveva is ready for it. And with just 2.5 seconds to go, Soloveva now has half a foot in the final. And our highest seeded fencer has progressed through the round of 16, the round of 8, and the semi-finals, where the winner of Farag versus Follett will await. Good fencing now from our highest seeded fencer.
Yeah. We've seen here how priority works in pentathlon. Because once the score was 2-3, and there was like 4 seconds or 2 seconds left, then it's almost impossible. That's why it's important. It's not the most important thing. I mean, of course, as I said before, you need 1 touch more, but in cases like that, 2-3, 2 seconds left with priority, it's almost done.
So, second of the semi-finals underway. Farag versus Follett. Follett's looking really good here, I have to say, but Farag with a good win over Zuxel in the previous rounds. Has taken out 1 experienced pentathlete. And she now take out yet another. She also beat Florina Yurt in the round of 16.
Really nice touch by Follett here.
So
Farag needs 2 touches.
Follett with the first half of this tie, getting the victory. So Follett now looking in a very good position. This is a long way back for Farag, who has to respond, which she does with the lunge and half the deficit.
But Follett is being capable of reading what she needs. Well, not now.
Excellent recovery that from Farag, who in the space of 4 seconds turns this tie on its head. She was looking defeated down in the dumps and the momentum switches, but Follett ups the ante, changes gear and moves back into a good position. This is a real give and take tie.
She didn't need that move.
3 apiece with 14 to go. Really intriguing battle this. A place in the final awaits the winner of this tie. And a double touch, which leaves Follett and Farag both on the verge of victory now. A touch for either athlete will secure victory, and it is Follett who celebrates loudly. She defeats Farag in probably the most exciting tie of fencing direct eliminations so far. Charlie Follett, the second-seeded fencer, moves through to take on the highest-seeded center. Soloveva awaits in the final. Soloveva versus Follett.
And Soloveva with priority, no? Interesting final.
So, Soloveva versus Follett. It all comes down to this.
Yeah, Follett made a couple of mistakes, but as I said, I think she's fencing really well.
I think Follett is looking in very, very good shape here.
Yeah.
It's good to see her back on the World Cup circuit. Follett versus Soloveva. Here we go, folks. The final of direct elimination. It all comes down to this: 250 points or 244 points. Which total will they take? Soloveva with priority, and little action in those first 20 seconds. A double celebration there, but it was Soloveva with the touch. I think Follett thought perhaps maybe she'd got it, but now Soloveva in a very strong position. These first 30 seconds belong to the highest seeded fencer of this direct elimination. Into the second half we go. And Soloveva now is just looking in very good form, it has to be said.
Yeah. I think Soloveva is making Follett play her game.
Oh,
Nice touch now from Follett.
we saw in the previous tie between Farag and Follett, Farag turned the tie around in the space of around 5 seconds at this point of the tie. Can Follett learn from her Egyptian opponent in the previous round to do something similar? Oh, she can.
Oh.
She gets the touch, and there it is, levels the score. We're going the distance with this one, folks. Very little between these two. With just over 15 seconds to go, we're in the final quarter of this tie. Follett now progressing on Soloveva. Soloveva looking a little bit nervous there. Double touch. Good defense that from Soloveva to ensure we continue 3 apiece. 8 seconds to go. This for 250 pentathlon points and a big step in the right direction for qualifying for Sunday's final. Can Follett find a way past Soloveva? She needs to attack soon. Oh my goodness me, they get locked together. And it was Follett with the touch. So Follett finds a way past and now just needs to step back. Oh, brilliant from Follett. Well, that was a masterclass by the Brits, who very much could have just stepped back towards the end of that tie, but instead decided to attack.
Yeah, we all thought she was going to get back, but she stayed.
Psychological warfare that there from Follett, who outthinks her opponent in those final few seconds. And Follett has done it. She wins fencing direct elimination to secure 250 points and make her top of the pile as we move towards obstacle. Now, we'll have to see how Follett gets on in obstacle, because I don't actually remember seeing her compete in obstacle. I'm not sure she has in the World Cup.
Yeah.
So
Let's see how it goes now in obstacle racing, because it will decide a lot of things here.
So let's take a look then at the final bracket. And there you can see Follett defeating Soloveva in the final, Farag in the semi-final, Nedchik in the quarter-final, and the world #1 Blanka Guzzi in the round of 16. Let's see then how that transfers into points with the overall scores, and you can see Follett up in first place, Soloyeva in second, Krenkova third, Varag in fourth, Zuxel in fifth place, dropping down a couple of places, 20 points off the lead now, but that won't be too much of a problem for her. And also bear in mind, this is a battle for the top 9. Who's in 9th position at the moment? Colleen Flavan is currently 2 points ahead of Laura Heredia. Yurt and Bauer will be dangerous from a bit further back, especially Blanca Bauer. If she can keep touch with that top 9, she will be one to keep an eye on, as will Khlavachkova, Green, Guzzi, Wu Mohammed and Alara. All still to play for as we now continue the competition with the second discipline within sight now. The obstacle will be coming in a moment's time, but let's just watch back the montage of the fencing. So Charlie Follett leads the way as we progress through to obstacle. But don't forget, folks, it's all about that battle for the top 9 being semi-finals. We move over to the obstacle. The athletes have to make their way past the steps into the big wheel. Things get difficult very quickly from this point onwards. Into the tilting ladders where you can make up a lot of time with good technique. The over-under through section of the course is all about maintaining speed. Then it's into the wheels, through to the giant steps. Then there is the rings, climbing holds or swinging globes before the finish wall completes all 8 obstacles. The quicker your time, the more points you get. We saw a world record in the men's qualifications with Mohamed Alashkar getting sub 20 seconds for the first time. That was a really interesting moment. Women's semi-final A will continue with obstacle, and a time of around 30 seconds is probably what they would all dream of. I think you'll see a mixture between 30 seconds to 50 seconds. Right, earlier on today, the man you can see just to the left of your screen there, that is Gergo Brookman, former Hungarian athlete, and this is how he gets on the obstacles. You can see making his way through the tilting ladders, drops into the over-under section, and then through to the end. Into the flying hoops, and you're quite literally flying here, and this is really cool. You can see the GoPro, other action cameras are available on the head of Gergo, and then we end with the rings at the end. I think quite a forgiving end to this course. Would you say the rings are probably easier than, say, for example, the climbing holds, Christian?
I think it's easier than swinging gloves. For me...
Globes are brutal, aren't they?
Yeah, I think they are the most difficult ones.
Let's take a look then at who will start where. Alara and Mohammed will be first. Now, if you're new to pentathlon, just worth pointing out, the athletes are not competing against each other. They are in their own individual battle. The conflict of the fencing is behind us. They're now just worrying about their own competition. Pretty much from this point onwards, it's a battle against yourself, isn't it?
Yeah. I remember when I was competing, I tried to forget about my opponent because it doesn't get much, relevance if he wins or you win.
You don't gain points, so there's no point in worrying about
your
opponent.
It's just about your time.
But that's easier said than done, isn't it? Because if you see someone who you are a similar time with and they're going ahead, you probably think, I need to go faster.
Yeah, but the thing, last year, for example, it was like we knew each other, but in every competition we improved a lot. So
Alara versus Mohammed is our first of the two bouts. You can see their PBs. Alara very young, 17 years of age. Mohammed only a year older, 18 years of age. These two will be future stars of this sport, the way they're going as well, qualifying for a semi-final at such a young age.
It could be like a junior championship.
Could be. But you're seeing, I think athletes seem to be getting a lot younger. I feels like it, right? I mean, you were yourself 26 years of age, and that would have been young, like 10 years ago. Athletes certainly peaking, or at least getting to this level a lot sooner, it feels. Like Farida Khalil, who's not here at this competition. She's injured, but she won pretty much everything last year. Anyway, here we go, folks. Alara versus Mohammed in our first of the obstacle disciplines. Good pace that from Alara through the tilting ladders, but they're pretty much neck and neck. You'll see the time in the bottom right corner as they head through the over-under-through section. Now into the flying hoops. And Alara with the slight advantage. Giant steps, hoops to go. The rings are saying, a bit of a rough land that from Alara, but doesn't lose too much time. And actually, Mohammed, in the end, I think, look at that, absolutely dead on. Both athletes with the same points, 3.62.
At the same time. You could see here how young athletes are even more experienced in obstacle racing than older athletes, because they started to training before, athletes like my age, because we were competing before Paris on horse riding, and these young athletes were already training obstacle racing, and you could see the results in competitions like this one.
Wu versus Guzi up next. Guzi has taken to obstacle very well. Strong, lean athlete, very quick runner. And I think the changes to swimming have helped Guzi as well. Wu versus Guzi. I think Guzi, who of course was the gold medalist in Cairo, could be dangerous in this competition. You would have backed her to qualify, but it could all come unstuck pentathlon quickly. You've got to be really careful when you can see the bit of a rough landing there from Guzi. Gets away with it and moves into the lead. Guzi at the front of your screen there in the red and blue colours representing Hungary. Oh, loses some time there. Managed to keep the momentum going for the flying hoops. Now into the rings we go, and Guzi has time to make up here. She's not going to... Oh, another rough landing from Guzi. Not the smoothest run is from Guzi, but she does somehow end up winning the heat. And Blanka Guzi actually with a 32 seconds. Wasn't too bad at all, but look, there's a few mistakes there.
Even though that mistake, I think Guzi has improved a lot on obstacle racing. We're seeing now here that big mistake. A nice exit in the rings for both of them.
So, good stuff. Up next, Olivia Green and Lucy Klavachkova. Both athletes with Olympic ambitions. Green actually qualifying for the Paris Olympic Games, but of course only 2 of each nation can go. Good pace that from Green. Oh no, there's a mistake. Just coming unstuck there through the tilting ladders. So Klavachkova moves into the advantage. Green now can't afford another mistake. Klavachkova just keeping pace through the flying hoops. And where is Green? Green is there. She's a bit further back, but she's lost a lot of time there. That could be costing for Green.
Yeah, one mistake in obstacle racing is a lot of points.
Klavachkova hits the buzzer, 32 seconds.
Good time,
solid time from Lucy. And Green now looking to get the job done. Just how quickly the competition can come unstuck. One mistake like that.
Yeah.
But Green finishing well. And up the finish wall, applies a little bit of extra pace. And there we go, let's read their body language.
And the more competitions we have with obstacle racing, more expensive are mistakes, because last year we saw many athletes making mistakes because it was new for every one of us, but not anymore. And one mistake now can cost you all the competition. Let's hope that Olivia Green can overcome that mistake.
Well, she's got a good laser run in the bag, hasn't she? So never say never. Green down up in 6th place overall in the current standings. Bauer versus Yurt. So Bauer gets on here in obstacle. Yurt, we know, is so quick. Florina Yurt moves into a clear lead here. And the camera focuses on the athlete higher. Look at that pace through the flying hoops. Losing no time. Giant steps, hoops. This could be the quickest time of the day. Oh, no, the mistake from Yurt. Oh, my goodness me. She just hesitated heading into the ring. So how costly could that be for Yurt? Bauer coming back strong. Yurt just has to make sure she doesn't make another mistake now. And you can see it's disrupted her confidence and her rhythm. Blau will probably win the heat. It's going to be close between the two of them. Yurt recovers, by the way. 37 seconds. Look how frustrated she is. Yeah. And that's been costly for Yurt.
As you said, she hesitated, and in that moment, the mistake came. Whoa. So sad for her. Even though she managed to do almost the same time than Blanca.
So,
Laura recovered after that.
Heredia versus Colleen Flavon. Flavon having the extra year to prepare for obstacle. You may remember her from the Junior World Championships. She finished bronze. Oof. Well, a bit of a slow start through the tilting ladders out for Flavon, and Heredia, by the way. Oh, gets stuck on the over section. That's not somewhere you necessarily will see people losing time. Slow but steady from both these athletes. Flavon is starting to find her rhythm a little bit here.
It's important not to make any mistakes.
It's nervy moments here. Well, both athletes getting through cleanly. And there's the landing there from Flavon, who is built in momentum as it goes on. And a similar time for both athletes. Will that be enough for Heredia? She's got a good laser run.
I think so. Considering her laser run, I think she can be happy. Let's see if the other athletes make mistakes or not.
Now, Laura Heredia, what is going to be classified a good competition for her? Making the final and then see where she can go from there?
I think she has enough level to be not only in the final, but for sure in a top 10. And even, I know she's waiting already for a medal.
Ooh, well, the mistake there from Zhang. Now, let's see how Nedchik gets on, because, of course, there will be some nerves in her competition. She'll have put that injury behind her. She'll have trained hard. And look, she's got good pace going through the flying hoops. The mistake from Zhang, she is now playing catch-up. Nedchik into the hoops.
Very solid since she got injured in obstacle racing.
Exactly, she looks confident, and this is a really good time. Nedchik up the finish wall, clambers up, and hits the buzzer at around a time 34. Not bad. Where will that put her in the overall standings? Top 4, I think. What about Zhang, who's had to recover after that early mistake?
Yeah, not bad at all for Nedchik.
So Nedchik moves up into first place overall. Solid from Nedchik. She's 7 points to the advantage. So, let's see how things progress now with Azuxel and Meyer. Away we go. A lightning fast start then from Azuxel, who is not losing any pace in those opening sections, but Meyer is not looking very quick as well. Good battle this between these two. Not much in it. Good pace from Meyer into the flying hoops. That's really good reach there from Azuxel, who skips the first flying hoop. And look at that, absolutely flying through the rings. We spoke to her before commentary. She said she was going to do that. I didn't realise how much pace she'd carry through. These two are the two quickest of the day so far. Meyer and Azuxel, both with absolutely fantastic times. They both look absolutely delighted. Look at that.
She's improved a lot. I remember last season she was struggling a lot with obstacle racing, and now look at her face. She's so happy because she did one of the best times. I didn't expect that. Her technique at the rings, it was just fantastic. Look at her. She has really improved a lot We have now Krenkov and Farag.
Excellent stuff to see one of the older generation of athletes doing so well in obstacle, proving that age is no factor when it comes to pentathlon. These 18 and 19-year-olds are still being kept on their toes by multiple Olympian Ilkka Züksal. Farag versus Krenkova in Heat 8. Our penultimate heat. Krenkova is taking some good pace here. The rings are nearly getting caught out at the end there. Strong finish from Krenkova. It's going to be a Züksal in first place, though, as things stand. A 3-3-4 and a 3-3-3. Krenkova dropping into third place. Farag into fourth. We're starting to see a little bit of a gap now between first and ninth building.
Yeah, especially between second and third, I think.
So we're into the final tie. Solieva versus Follett. And don't read too much into that PB from Solieva. Here we go then, folks, our final tie. Follett's making her way over the tilting ladder. Solieva with good pace through there. Follett just playing it safe. Doesn't want to take too many risks here, because don't forget, it's all about getting inside that top 9. It's not so important to be finishing top 3 in the laser run later. It's just about getting inside that top 9. Good basis from Solieva, actually, who is now moving close to the end of this course. Up the finish wall she goes. Buzzer in sight. Oh, loses a second or so. But that's fine. 34 seconds. Follett will look to go quicker in the final should she make it. Doesn't look over the moon with that time. 38 seconds. But Follett in fourth place and has a solid gap over ninth place. I think Follett will be fine. I think we expect to see Follett in the final from that position, and those are your obstacle times. Not bad at all.
No, we are seeing how times are getting more and more tight now than, for example, last year. And I think it's a solid result for Follett, considering her result in fencing, and considering, I think it's the first competition for her with obstacle racing. So I think she should be happy.
Let's take a look at the scores. And you'll see in first place Ilkka Züksal, who was absolutely delighted with that time of 26.8. I think that could well be a personal best for Züksal. Meyer in second place, Solieva in third, Follett in fourth, Krenkova in fifth, Farag in sixth place. But what about that battle with the top 9? Lara currently occupies that place, joint with Klavachkova, and you wouldn't want to see Klavachkova behind you, would you? Because she's such a quick laser runner. Flavon and Guzzi in 11th and 12th place. Looking further down, Wu, Eladir, Yurt, Bauer, Zhang, and Green with work to do down in 18th place. That concludes obstacle. We're going to build up now to the start of the swimming. But firstly, let's watch back the montage of the obstacle. The delight on Ilkka Züksal's face is everything there. Congratulations to both those athletes who set very, very quick times. Vivienne Meyer and Ilkka Züksal with really good times. We move on to the swimming now, folks. It's the 100-meter freestyle, reduced in length from 200 meters last year. It really is an exciting, I would say upgrade to pentathlon is probably not the right term. I mean, we ultimately we get less swimming. But it's quicker, it's more fast, it's more frantic, and it pushes the athletes in different ways, Christian.
I think it's a good decision, this new 100-meter format. I haven't had the pleasure to try it. Well, I had tried when I competed in relays, but not in this new format. I've heard a lot of athletes saying that it's more kind of lactic, but I think.
Explain to us what you mean by it's more lactic as well, because this is very much an athlete's term. It's one that athletes will throw around. Obviously, we're talking about the lactic acid buildup, aren't we?
You know, when you feel that pain in your muscles, when you are when you're giving your all and you feel that pain, that's the lactic.
That is the lactic.
That's what we're talking about.
We're going to hear more about this in a moment's time, but actually, I think it would be really nice to hear from the athletes from Turkey who you saw setting such a good time in the obstacle a moment ago. Let's hear from Turkey's İlker Özüksal.
Between obstacle and swimming, I have a special preparation. I'm taking elastic or teraband because our swimming in change from 200 to 100, and I have to be more strong and sprint for that. And we have just little time, and I change my suits so quick and just focusing swimming. This changing between 200 to 100, it's actually, I try to focus on more sprint, but I thought it was better for me, but the lactic acid, it's coming and it's hard to be making shooting and running after this. So we changed our training program now and we try to adaptation. So we're gonna see next competitions, but I'm sure we're gonna be ready for next Olympic qualification seasons.
İlker Özüksal, a voice with authority here in pentathlon. She has been around this sport for many, many years and has adapted to all the changes, and I think is an inspiration for all the athletes out there because she's just been around for so long. She's just consistently competing, winning medals, qualifying for Olympics. And look how quick she is at obstacle, by the way.
Yeah. She's been through all these changes that pentathlon has had, and she's still on even medals. And so, as you said, she's a really an inspiration for all of us. Even though all these changes, she's always there fighting for medals, and she would probably be fighting for these medals in this competition. So nice work from Özüksal.
So we are getting close to the start of the swimming, and the athletes will be making their way out poolside, heat by heat, determined by the order in which they are in the competition currently. Let's take a look at the start list for swimming heat 1 then. Green, Zhang, Bauer, Yurt, Eradia and Wu. And explain to us a little bit about the score here, Christian.
Yeah, we have this first swimming series with, number 1 is the high ranked in this of these 6 athletes. So it means that the first one in this case is number 13, the rankings now. Laura, who's second, is 14th. And it is not about time in this case, it's about positions. And let's see how athletes are prepared for this new 100-meter format. We already saw in Cairo. I'm sure in every competition they will get better and more adapted to this new 100 meters format.
Now, when you take a look at this pack of athletes in swimming heat 1, Green, Zhang, Bao, Yurt, Eradia and Wu, okay, let's start with Olivia Green. 1:32 behind the lead. She is nearly the best part of a minute behind 9th place. Is the competition over for Green? Or can she make it back from here, do you think?
I don't want to say, but it's kind of over.
How will this affect her preparation for the swimming, do you think? Because is she going to give this even more than she would have done? Because she has to make up time here, doesn't she?
I think it depends on every athlete, because...
she could make up time here, by the way. She could make up 10 seconds on 9th place.
Yeah, she's a good swimmer. Yeah.
You can see at the front.
It depends on your swimming. For example, I didn't have a bad swimming, but I wasn't one of the best, and I knew that my swimming was in the middle, more or less. So trying to gain some seconds, not even seconds, less than seconds, it would be like difficult. I mean, swimming.
We'll come back to that because we are approaching the end of this swimming heat. That is the speed in which pentathlon swimming heats conclude, and there we go. It is Green with the fastest time, 1:02.57, just ahead of Wu. So Green looking to try to make up as much time as she possibly can over in lane 6 at the back of your screen. And she's done what she can in the first swimming heat to make up some points. Let's see what that does with the rest of the athletes, because of course there are going to be multiple battles going on across the field here. And Green with a thumbs up to the camera, looking absolutely exhausted because she gave everything in that 100 meters and has to be as business-like as possible because she's got work to do.
Good time for Laura, I think, because she has improved like a couple of seconds from qualifying, I think. So I don't know if in qualifying she saved a little bit of energy or just because it was the first day, I don't know. But I think she will be happy, or quite happy at least.
Just seeing the final moments of that race there as the athletes touch the wall. Green, you can see at the back of your shot there, just touching with the quickest time. Right, let's have a look then at the athletes for the second heat. This is where the battle really is now in this semi-final. The 9th spots they're all aiming for. Nedchik, Mohammed, Lara, Plavachkova, Flavon, Guzzi, all quick runners in this swimming heat as well, which makes
they
it
are all
interesting.
Out of the top 9 from now, so we are going to see a really interesting laser run.
Are we getting to the point in pentathlon where just consistently the athletes are just the better athletes being the quicker runners?
Some years ago, maybe, but now with obstacle racing and also this new fencing format, even now swimming has more weight than before.
Yeah,
so
swimming much more weight.
Yeah, so
I quite enjoy it, by the way, as well. Because
yeah,
like swimming was, athletes were not getting at everything before. They were managing their bodies more. Now they have to because, yeah, 1 second less is 5 points. You have to be quick in the pool, don't you? And
yeah, and we also had to adapt to this to swimming with no warming up at all.
Here we go then, swimming heat 2 is underway, and this is where the battle for 9th place really heats up. The scores at the bottom on the left-hand side are the athletes from the previous heat, and all these athletes will be looking to be above their scores. Guzzi, Flavon, Plavachkova, Lara, Mohammed and Nedchik. Keep your eyes on Guzzi, who is in the far lane. She could well be the quickest athlete in this pool. 50-meter pool, which means there's just 2 laps of the course, and there's the turn. It is Guzzi currently in first place, and as predicted is leading at these early stages, but she's under good competition from Lara from Italy. The 17-year-old Italian is taking the more experienced 27-year-old Guzzi right to the wire. Can Guzzi get close to that 1 minute mark? You can see on the top right of your screen, that is Blanka Guzzi, the gold medalist from Cairo, looking to go back-to-back medals. Can she put herself in a good position for qualifying here? It's not a bad time, a 1:02.3. Guzzi with the fastest time, Lara in second place, Mohammed in third.
I think being close to 1 minute is a really good time in this semi-final, considering also that it's a 50-meter pool. so times are a little bit slower than in a 25 meters pool. So 1:02, I think it's a really good time for good.
So the athletes quickly getting out of the pool because they've got work to do. The imaginary sixth discipline of pentathlon is effectively getting changed for you next.
Yeah, it's all about that now.
Is there not a world in which athletes could compete in a triathlon style uniform where they just wear the same outfit the whole way through? Is that not a possibility, do you think?
For pentathlon?
Yeah, so like obviously in triathlon you have these triathlon suits, right?
Yeah.
Where they don't change because obviously they're cycling and swimming, they're running in the same outfits. Could we not do the same thing with pentathlon where, okay, obviously for fencing, you
Yeah,
can have your fencing
that's the
stuff
most
over the top, but you could have it underneath and just whip it off and then have it in the obstacle, have it in the swimming, have it in the laser run. It's not possible.
It could be possible, but the thing is, for example, at swimming, swimmers use that fast skin swimsuit that helps you a lot with your time.
And it wouldn't be helpful for the other.
I don't think so.
We'll come back to that conversation. We're going to introduce the athletes for the third and final swimming heat, led out by Ilka Azukzul. Looks like she's having fun out there. There's something about Bulgaria that seems to bring out the best in Ilka Azukzul. Vivian Meyer, Yana Soloyeva, Charlie Follett, Karolina Krenkova and Lily Farag. Those are your 6 athletes here in swimming heat 3. So just to conclude that conversation quickly, you don't think it's possible to have a one-size-fits-all pentathlon outfit that reduces the speed in which they have to adapt between the transitions?
The thing is, in triathlon, you have every discipline one next to another without no
transition.
Yeah.
So you haven't got the choice, basically.
Yeah, here at least you have a short transition, but you have a few minutes, like 10 minutes or something. So
True that. Right, let's get underway then with our third and final swimming heat. Swimming just goes by so quickly these days. You barely get a moment to breathe. You see the athletes, they get out the pool straight away, go into the change room to get themselves prepared for the laser run. That is the advantage of being in the earlier swimming heats. The athletes that were in swimming heat 1 are already starting to make their way out to the laser run arena. Right, so final swimming heat, we've got Azukzul, Meyer, Soloyeva, Follett, Krenkova and Farag. Quickest swimmers, maybe keep an eye on Krenkova, Follett, Azukzul over in lane 1 at the front of your screen. It's tricky to say who has the race lead at this point because it is very, very tight across the pool. And you can see it is going to be a battle to the wire. Lots of encouragement, some whistles coming in from the coaches in the distance. It looks like Azukzul might actually take the race win here. I think it was Azukzul who touched first. It was Azukzul ahead of Farag. Krenkova in 3rd place. So Azukzul's fine form continues and she will start laser run in 1st place. That is as good as guaranteed. So really solid there as you see the time slotting into the overall results, and we'll see, keep your eye on that battle for 9th place because that is where this competition is really important. Currently Klavachkova, I don't think it's going to change too much around there. There you go, there's your top 9. So Azukzul with a decent lead, 6 seconds, but it's Wu, Mohammed and Klavachkova, and this could be a really interesting conclusion to women's semi-final A.
Azukzul is on fire today.
She is. We're going to catch up with one of the athletes in a moment's time to hear her thoughts on the competition. We will introduce her in a minute's time, but before we do that, we will conclude our coverage of the swimming. Ilka Azukzul is looking in mighty fine form here, and she leads the way. Let's take a look at the overall standings then. And there you can see Ilka Azukzul in 1st, Meyer in 2nd, Soloyeva in 3rd place, Follett 4th, Krenkova 5th, Farag 6th. 20 seconds between second and sixth place. And what about that battle for ninth place? It is Mohammed and Wu separated by just a second. Hlavackova and Nedchik will be dangerous later on in the competition. What about a bit further down? Let's have a look at those athletes a bit further back. Zhang, Bauer, Flavon, Elidir, Yurt and Green make up the final numbers. We'll build up to later on. We'll hear from one of the athletes in a moment's time, but let's just watch back the swimming highlights. So welcome everybody back to Pazardzhik here in Bulgaria as we continue our build-up to the laser run. Swimming done and dusted now. Laser run has changed this year compared to last year. It's now 5 shoots rather than the 4 shoots. Last year, the athletes would just run for the first lap. Now they're straight into the shooting range. The pressure that the athletes feel is there right from the beginning. No chance to shake off that lactic acid. They have to go straight to the shooting range. First over the finish line is the winner. It is all about the battle for the top 9. The top 9 will compete in Sunday's final. Let's just intermittently grab some of the thoughts of Italian superstar athletes, a mother, a pentathlon athlete. Welcome to back to the commentary box, Irene Prampolini. How are you?
Thank you. All good, thank you. It's actually a very nice competition to watch. Unfortunately, I missed that semi-final. Girls are all looking very, very good. Good shape, strong field. Looking forward to see this laser run right now.
You have made the transition from motherhood back to athlete seamlessly from where I'm sitting, but a lot of work has gone into getting back into to being an athlete, hasn't it?
Yeah, it's a tough journey to do, but actually I'm enjoying it. Enjoying bringing my daughter to watch me during trainings, and she's even here.
She's here now?
Yeah, she's watching competitions.
So you are looking after your daughter whilst trying to sleep in between competitions as well?
I've got my auntie and my mum coming today, looking after her.
And your husband is here as well, Jamie Cook.
My husband is here.
The performance coach for Great Britain. Husband or coach? He's not your coach, is he? Because you're, of course, Italian.
Yeah, but I'm training in a bar with them, so I can say it's actually both.
I asked Jamie in Cairo, so for viewers watching at home who aren't sure who we're talking about, Jamie Cook, former world champion, is now Great Britain's performance analyst and consequently husband of Irene Prampolini, who is the voice you are hearing now. I asked Jamie in Cairo, when Irene is performing, are you coach or husband? And he said, with Irene, it is my heart. With my athletes, it is my profession. It was a very diplomatic answer from him.
Yeah.
Young Italian athlete here, Alara. Tell us what you know about her.
She's very young. She's 17 today, so happy birthday to her.
Is her birthday today?
Yeah.
Oh,
yes.
congrats.
So I wish her all the best luck. She's enjoying in this competition. She said, I'm looking forward to compete here. It's the first senior comp. She's actually a very strong athlete.
Well, she's in 8th place as well.
Yeah.
I mean, that's amazing. What a birthday present that is for her if she qualifies for the final.
Yeah, I wish her all the best.
You made semi-finals in Cairo. You just missed out on semi-finals here, but we'll just quickly focus on Blanka Guzzi for a second, by the way. World number 1, has won 2 World Championship gold medals. This you can see her rankings in the discipline, as you can see, heavily weighted towards laser run. She's a very, very quick athlete in laser run and is improving in all other areas as well. Perhaps maybe a little bit more work to do in fencing, but historically hasn't been too much of a problem for Blanka Guzzi. winner in Cairo, and she is one of the athletes to catch. Came 4th at the Olympic Games, and there she is, Blanka Guzzi. I forget the question I asked for you now, but
she's a very strong athlete as well, and in shooting she's rarely miss. That's where I think Sarah's strong as well.
I know what I asked you. It was about in terms of you made semi-finals in Cairo. So firstly, because we didn't speak to you in Cairo, how was that for you?
It's difficult to come back after 2 years break because we got lots of young athletes coming. Of course, with a new discipline, and I haven't been training for that long, only for nearly a year. And of course, they've been training for 4 years. So lots to catch up, but I'm sure in a year's time I can compete in this field.
Just focusing a second here on Ilkra Züksel. Last year here in Pazardzhik, Ilkra Züksel performed a near miracle. She started laser on in 18th place, and somehow, after being like a minute 40 seconds behind 9th place, managed to qualify. Now she's done the opposite. She starts in 1st place. And Ilkra Züksel, I think, is an inspiration for your generation of athletes as much as for the younger generation of athletes, because she's been through so many changes. She's been in this sport for so many years. Do you look up to Ilkra as an athlete?
Yeah, I've been on her for, I don't know, I was 14, I think, 15, our first youth bay comp. She's an experienced athlete, and I think she knows exactly what to do, how to manage also the effort during the comp.
Yeah, a very nice person as well. What's next for you, by the way? Are you going to be competing in Budapest?
Actually, I've been speaking with my PD, and we are thinking about it, because first of all, I want to get able to do a fast course, at least a decent time in the OCR.
And final question, your daughter, is she going to be competing in pentathlon? Are we going to see another Prampolini or Cook Prampolini competing?
We are still thinking about it. My husband was more in Formula 1 or golf, so let's see.
The endless opportunities. She's going to have to compete with the likes of Maria Nedchik if she wants to win medals. Maria Nedchik winning a gold medal. I think, if memory serves correct, it was in Budapest in 2024 that she won her gold medal. Maria Nedchik is one of the stars of the sport. Good to see her back after it was a serious injury for her.
Yeah, it was a serious injury, and actually it's nice to see her back and competing again and performing.
Yeah.
It's difficult when you get injury in the OCR, especially in this course, and then back on doing it in a good way.
And just actually another final question for you, to hear your thoughts on inspiring the mothers out there, because we've seen a few pentathletes go away, have children come back. And actually, I spoke to Mariam Amur about this in Egypt, former Egyptian athlete, and she said sometimes athletes come back from having had a child even stronger.
Yeah, we are.
Have you feel the same?
Yeah, I think we are stronger than before. Most of it because I think now we are enjoying more doing sport. It's our free time, and we want to be mother and inspiration for our daughter.
You are relaxing competing more than you are as a parent. I can relate with that. Elodie Clouvel, if you're watching from home, congratulations, of course, to your husband, Valentin Below is here. Maybe we can see the 2 times Olympic silver medalist come back from having a baby and compete again. Yeah,
looking forward for that, and looking forward to meet all the babies here in the field and all together.
Are you here until Monday?
I'm here till Monday.
Come back and chat to us again tomorrow if you can.
Okay, will do.
Always a pleasure. Irene Prampolini, good luck with the rest of the competition.
Thank you.
Good luck with your daughter. Thank you for your time. We appreciate it.
Thank you. Bye.
Speak to you soon.
Enjoy laser on.
Thank you. We will. We can't wait to continue our build-up to the laser on. Italian athlete Irene Prampolini. Always good to see her doing well, and always good to hear from her. Right, we are now pretty much in the business end now of building up to laser on. Christian Camiso rejoins us back into the commentary box. Mr. Chamizo, great to hear from Irene Prampolini, but now we really need to focus on this competition, don't we? Because let's take a look. We have the results in front of us. They just flashed up on your screen a moment's time. In fact, we see Blanka Guzzi just sitting down and thinking about her competition. If there's one person I'm not worried about making it through to the final, it's Blanka Guzzi. She's in 7th place. She's probably going to finish top 3.
Probably, yeah. I'm nervous about Laura, to be honest, because I don't think this 21 seconds are the problem because...
Well, Laura Heredia is in a tough position, actually, to be fair. It's a good one to point out. She's down in 16th position. But we are underway, led out by Ilka Zuxel, who has a 5-second lead over Vivienne Mayer and arrives straight at the shooting range. So Zuxel, pistol in hand, is now trying to get her shooting routine done as quickly as possible. 3 out of the 5 then for Ilka, 4 out of the 5. She's shooting without pressure here. Very solid first shoot that there from Ilka Zuxel. And she is away. And we can see Krankova making her way into the range. Now,
shooting from Mayer too. 11 seconds. Good shooting from Soloveva.
High standard this, isn't it? Follow it with a sub 10-second shoot. I tell you what, these are some good times. If someone gets stuck here with a 20-second shoot, they could be in a lot of trouble. Krankova just looking to get this wrapped up. 13 seconds, not bad at all, especially for a first shoot. Guzzi with a sub 8-second shoot. That is setting the standard high. These are phenomenally quick shooting times. Farag with an 18-second shoot drops down into 6th place. Follett, it says, is in 10th place, but I think she's higher up than that, isn't she? Klavachkova is making her way through. So we'll wait for the standings to shuffle up, because I think there's just a little bit of... yeah, because Follett is not down in 13th place, is she? So we'll wait for these standings to correct themselves. Unfortunately, our commentary position here in Pazardzhik doesn't give us a good view of the field of play, so we can't actually confirm the exact position of the athletes. There you go, Follett up into 4th place, and that is your top 9. Zuxel, Mayer, Soloveva, Follett, Krankova, Guzzi, Adara, Wu, Mohammed and Farag. But what about the split times? That's what's important at the moment.
Yeah, because they are so close to each other.
It looks like Mohammed on your screen there is in 9th place. And what is the gap between her and her Egyptian teammates? So the way that the running course goes here in Pazardzhik is it leaves the arena, and then round the back where they are now, where you can see Farag and Mohammed battling for 9th and 10th place. We sat there for a while yesterday, weren't we, Christian? It's very quiet around there. You've got the music, you've got the PA, you've got the excitement of the crowd, and then suddenly it's deadly quiet out there, isn't it?
It's like you're alone, yeah, there. I remember last year when this part of the track, we were like quite alone. And
do you like that, or? Let's just focus on Zuxel firstly. We'll get your thoughts on that in a moment's time. But Zuxel now back in the shooting range. She's shot sub 10 seconds previous round. She's made 3 out of the 5, 4 out of the 5. She'll want to go sub 15 here, but she's nearly done, 15.19. That's okay, not too bad at all. What about Mayer, Soloveva and Follett? They are next at the range. Mayer, a little bit slow, that 16.6, that's not too bad. These are slower times. Soloveva with a 13. Follett hasn't got it. Guzzi once again with a lightning fast time. I think Guzzi's favourite for gold at this point. I'm massively jumping the gun here, because it is, of course, just semi-finals and we're just battling on those top 9 positions. Lara with a good time as well on her birthday. Krankova, these are all consistently good times. Everyone's getting sub 20 seconds, which is what you like to see. Nedchik making her way back into things, as is Bauer, by the way, who has had a very, very good shooting routine. Klavachkova's made her way up into that top 9, and I think it is possibly Mohammed who has possibly dropped out the top 9 there, but we'll wait to see. I'm pretty sure that Nedchik has moved up into those top 9 positions. She had a really good shooting routine. Klavachkova, we know as well, is in that top 9. Blauer, Flavan, Zhang, Farag, Heredia is still trying to make her way and make her impact on this race.
I think she can do it still. I don't think the gap she has is a problem. The real problem is the athlete that she has in front, that they are really good runners too, and they are looking for this top 9 also, just like her. And I think the shooting series will be what decides who is in or not.
Karolina Klenkova started in 5th place. Now she's dropped a little bit further down into 8th place. Klavachkova, in fact it's Lara, Krankova and Klavachkova who are battling for 9th place. Not too much trouble behind them, but there you can see Nedchik and Bauer. You would not want Nedchik and Bauer to be behind you if you're in a battle for 9th place. Surely all 3 of those qualify, by the way. Klavachkova, Nedchik and Bauer, all very fast runners. You worry at this point for Krankova, for Alara and Mohamed's dropped back as well. So Khlevatchkova has firmly established herself inside that top 9. She's moved up into 8th place as our leader, Özüksel, begins her 3rd of 5 shooting routines. We hit the 5-minute mark in this women's semi-final A laser run. So Özüksel back at the range. She is shooting as well as I can remember her shooting in recent times as well, by the way. Özüksel out in front is looking very, very good here. 13.9. What about Solieva? What about Guzi? Guzi sub 10 seconds. That's pretty much 8 seconds, 8 seconds, and 10 seconds for Guzi. Solieva with a solid time as well. No worries for those athletes. Maya away safely. Wu with a really good time. Follett solid with a 14.7. Khlevatchkova is as good as in the final from this position. Now it's that battle a little bit further back. You worry for Krankova because Nenchik and Bauer already are out. Alara, the young athlete, on her 17th birthday, has now been caught up in this battle. And as predicted, Krankova and Alara are in trouble. And as predicted, Khlevatchkova, Bauer and Nenchik are all safely inside that top 9. And I don't think the order changes too much from here onwards, Christian.
Let's see if it changes. If it changes, it would be from someone in top 6 maybe, because these 3 athletes, I don't see her.
Honestly, when you break it down one by one, as you see the story of Nedchik starting in 12th and moving up to 9th, Özüksel doesn't lose grip on that place. Solieva, I don't think does either. Maya, I'm pretty happy with how she's looking. Follett and Guzi, it's tough to see who out of those top 9 now will not go on and qualify. It's been a dominant performance, and it has shown just how important having a good shoot and a good run is. And the likes of Nedchik and Bauer and Khlevatchkova starting further back was always going to be a dangerous sign for Alara. Flavin perhaps maybe could push her way back into things.
Maybe it's all about not only about shooting, but you know, now it's even more important with one more series. We
actually have 2 series to go, so there's 2 shoots. Yeah. We've only had 3, so let's see what happens. A lot can still change. We are not writing anyone off at the moment. We are not promoting anybody through to the final. We're certainly very unsure on how these medals will start to take shape. But there you can see Ilka Özüksel top right in our picture-in-picture, back in the shooting range. Good first 3 shots from her. Guzi at the range as well. Guzi's now coasting, isn't she? In fact, Guzi with another sub 9 seconds. It's just casual. Özüksel with a sub 14 seconds. Solieva is flying, nearly clashes with Maya into the range. Will that disrupt Maya's rhythm? Follett's been very impressive at the range as well. We've not spoken too much about Charlie Follett. You can see the shooting of Nedchik top right. Solid shooting from Nedchik, who's away. Bauer is away as well. Wu, I mean, this is, yeah, it's all fairly straightforward for those lead 9. Eradia coming back strong here. Sub 9 seconds as Laura Eradia says, I'm not done here, as does Flavon. So, actually, there's a lot that can change. Vivian Maya perhaps getting sucked into that battle. Now, this is where things get interesting, because Maya is starting to be caught by Laura Eradia. You said to keep an eye on Eradia. She's had an amazing laser shoot there, and she's brought herself back into the conversation to perhaps qualify here.
We've seen her before doing things like that. She's a really good runner, but she's also a really good shooter. And now she has a really good opportunity with one more shooting series. It's all about this final shooting series, I think.
It certainly is. This is where modern pentathlon is absolutely thrilling and exciting. And look at this. Laura Eradia, pace by pace, is closing in on Vivian Maya of Switzerland. Maya, you can see the legs starting to wobble. She is giving it absolutely everything, but she has an Olympian chasing her down. And Laura Eradia, on her day, one of the best athletes in the world, is also being chased by Flavon. This race is far from over, and I think at this point, actually, you wouldn't dismiss the fact that the battle now could well be between Flavon and Eradia, because despite her best efforts, she is about to drop outside of the top 9. Vivian Maya of Switzerland started in 2nd, but heartbreak. She's now dropped out of qualification and down into 10th place. Brilliant from Laura Eradia of Spain, who moves up into the qualification spots. Back at the range go the leaders. Guzi, Özüksel are back shooting. The shooting consistency from Guzi is terrifying for the rest of the field. She posts her slowest time, which is still at 12.6. Özüksel's looked very good here shooting-wise. She'll be safely through to the final. Who else? Soloveva is through as well. She has shot well. Wu shooting well. Nedchik shooting well. Who else have we got? Bauer's out. Hlavackova out. Now, this is where the battle. Enadia with a sub-8 second shoot when it matters the most. Can Flavon keep things interesting? Because, oh my goodness me, Follett with a 20-second shoot. So Follett has been caught out on the final lap here. The pressure has made itself pay. And Charlie Follett of Great Britain, who looked like she was cruising through to the final, now has been drawn into a final battle sprint. And in fact, moving back into the qualification spots, it looks like Colleen Flavin still has a chance. So this is your battle here, folks, for the top 9. Follett was in 4th place, but 120-second shoot, which isn't terrible, by the way, has totally mixed things up.
120-second shooting, and look what happens.
It's a 3-way battle now, isn't it?
Yeah.
It is Follett, it is Meyer, and it is Flavin. And I have a sneaking suspicion that Flavon is the favourite here. We wait for the standings on the left of your screen to be updated. When they go past the timing chips, that is when we will get an update here. But it is currently Charlie Follett who is in 9th place, and Flavin, who started down in 15th, now has the chance for qualification. Has to take an edge of pace off going around that corner. But you have to feel for Charlie Follett, who has had a near-perfect competition up until now. But going around the outside, Flavin has Follett saved a little bit of energy now to see herself home. This is not the battle she wanted on the final lap, but it's the battle that she has found herself in. The athletes making their way out of the park, back into the arena. It's going to be a flat-out sprint now between Follett and between Flavin in this final battle for 9th place. I think Follett has saved a bit of energy for a kick finish. Follett down the final finish straight. Flavin is finding a bit of extra pace, but Follett is giving this absolutely everything. Charlie Follett of Great Britain has done it dramatically. She qualifies. Flavin, you have to say, gave an excellent, excellent effort. Commiserations for Vivian Mayer of Switzerland, who misses out after starting in 2nd. She is now down further down the order. But Charlie Follett of Great Britain was made to work for that, Christian.
Whew. We predicted it was going to be an amazing laser run, and that's what we saw. I mean, just one bad shooting from Follett in the last shooting.
But it wasn't even that bad. Like 20 seconds is, okay, listen, 20 seconds is not a great shoot.
Yeah.
But it happens, you know? She shot fairly consistently. I'm so shocked that she got pulled into that battle.
In today's pentathlon, a 20-second shooting.
It's like an extra shooting routine when you've got everyone else shooting 10 seconds consistently. Guzi, by the way, her worst shoot was 12.3 or something like that.
Yeah, but Guzi makes it so easy. And I think in the last one she shot in like 13, but the other one was 7, 8. So if you shoot in 7, 8, 7, 8, and
we didn't get the chance, by the way, to focus on the athletes that finished 1st to 8th. We kind of neglected them. That wasn't where the battle was. The battle was a bit further up as Olivia Green crosses the finish line. Wasn't her day today. It all came unstuck with the obstacle. But listen, good, solid. She made the semi-finals and something to build on. Blanka Guzi, best athlete in the world right now.
Probably, yeah. I think so. She's so strong in every discipline. She has improved a lot in obstacle.
Charlie Follett, by the way, is saying, "I'm good. I don't need any help from the medical team." Medical team. I'm just going to have a little look at her. Blanka Guzi, you saw at the beginning meditating. Ilka Özüksel, fabulous performance by her.
Yeah.
Sarah Mohammed didn't quite finish the race like she would have liked to. It was a solid performance up until laser run from Mohammed.
And considering how young she is, she should be so happy to be in a World Cup semi-final.
Lucy Klavachkova seems stronger, even stronger this year, even faster on the course.
Yeah.
Eradia, by the way, had a fantastic laser run. Joy to watch when she's performing like that.
She probably won the laser run.
Probably, yeah. Maria Nedchik as well, with a really good performance. Good to see Nedchik back performing at the highest possible level. And at this point, it looked fairly... I didn't even think of Follett as...
Yeah, she was in a good position. Everything seemed controlled, but at the end...
Very professional performance from Laura Eradia, who has made a coach smile, who's watching on just behind us. We're hearing a happy birthday through the tannoy, because that is for Anna Chiara Alara from Italy, who didn't qualify. I'm not sure she's going to be in a very celebratory mood at the moment, but hand in hand, there you can see Blanka Guzzi and Ilka Azuksal celebrating, hands up in the air. A different story for Ilka this time, after she had to really fight for it last time. And that was a really... I tell you what, I enjoyed seeing that sprint finish between Flavana and Follett, and Follett proving she's a very, very good runner, and having that kick finish is a big, important tool to have in your locker. And I wonder if that could transcend into medals for Follett a little bit later in the season. She absolutely gave that everything, didn't she?
Making into the finals like this is always satisfying, but I think she would prefer to feel like Ozil's like, girl or Guzzi.
Yeah. Guzzi's just like chilling. Hang on a minute, is it Guzzi's birthday as well? How many birthdays do we have today? Everybody's birthday today.
That's nice, yeah.
Is it your birthday?
No.
No, it's not your. Okay, not everyone's then. It's a confirmation of the scores. Guzzi and Azuksal, Bauer, Klavachkova, Soloveva and Nedchik, top 6. Nedchik with a really good laser run. Good vibes here in Pazardzhik as women's semi-final A comes to its conclusion.
Bauer 11 positions.
Really impressive. Wu, Eradia and Follett are final 3 athletes to qualify. Flavon, unlucky by the way.
Yeah.
Really good laser run from Flavon. She kept that super exciting right up into the end. Maya dropping out, Krenkova dropping out. Didn't quite go the way of those two. Zhang, Yurt, Mohammed, Alara, Farag and Green unable to qualify. That concludes women's semi-final A. We'll be back before too long to do it all again with women's semi-final B. We'll leave you with the montage of women's semi-final A and promise you we'll be back soon for more pentathlon action. Bye for now.
Into the lead. Smile.
Look at that shooting accuracy.
She's going to cross the line as a deserving World Cup final champion.
Suivante.